We learn so much from you every day, and we're just like giddy with excitement to have you all in one room. So but we've been really trying to up our learning. I think most of you know I'm still pretty new in my job, 2.5 years, and I want to just tell you 4 things that we've been focusing on learning. And when I say we, the staff and the board. Number 1, over the last year, we've been really learning and trying to figure out how to get money out to you faster. Can I get an amen on that? And we've made a huge dent thanks to our great grants management team, headed up by Amy Scope and Fatima Angelis, our VP of programs. We have cut in half the time it takes to get the money out the door, and also with the support of our finance. I hope you're feeling, I know I get to, electronically sign the signatures, and before, I can blink my eye, those letters are coming back from you, which means we can get the money out to you faster. So we're working hard. We have made a tremendous amount of progress we can. The other thing we've been focusing on is trying to find out how we can get more money. We give out $35 million, a year, but one of the things that I've learned is that is just peanuts compared to the issues we want to focus on more access to health care, in looking at issues around gun violence prevention, really looking at what we can do with our resilient youth. And so for the last year or so, the board and the staff have been really learning a lot about mission-related investing, and that's just a mouthful of saying that we believe foundations should not only look at their grant dollars, but also look at how we can use and leverage our investments and our endowments. So our board just recently approved a set of mission-related guiding principles, and we're going to start piloting with the idea of more money coming out. The other thing we're trying to do is finding our voice. As I've gone across the state, many of you have said one thing, 2 things you've said. One, Belk, don't mess with general operating support. So as you know, I now introduce myself and say, I'm Judy Belk. I will not mess with general operating support. And we're delighted, by the way, that other colleagues throughout the philanthropic field recognize that nonprofits can and should be given as much leeway as they can, and looking at how to use their resources in general operating support. So that's great. But one of the things that you've also said is that we've been kind of quiet, that you'd like to hear more from us. And so we've paid attention. We've got a great new VP of Public Affairs, Richard Tate. Where is he? Who's helping us find our voices. Follow us on Twitter. I'm tweeting and all of that. Tweet today. So continue. We're trying to find our voice, and we'll continue to do that. The other thing is that we talk a lot about place matters. We know in this great state of California, which we view as an asset, that all is not equal where you live and where you work. We also think that place matters where we do our work. And, our home in Southern California has been, since our inception, in Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills will always be part of our history, but we think we've outgrown Woodland Hills, and next year we're going to be moving to downtown Los Angeles. So, and part of that is that we think we can better serve the community, that we can collaborate with other funders, and I know our Chief Operating Officer, Peggy Minnick, is thinking, that she'll get us moved, but when you see her, just pat her on the back, because she's got a lot of work to do. But also learning. This is not going to, I don't want you to just be sitting taking information. I want you guys, as you know, there's never a free lunch. I want you guys to give us some information. So the first thing I'm going to do is ask all of the Cal Wellness staff members, my colleagues, to please stand. Okay. Okay, keep. All right. All right. I want them to stand because I want you, throughout the next 2 days, we're all going to be here, I want you to think about providing us information on 4 questions. One is, what's the one thing that you're really excited about that's happening in your community? Want to know that. What are you worried about? And what are we as Cal Wellness, what are we doing well and how can we improve? If you were sitting where we're sitting, what would you be doing? So now you can't just hog everyone. You gotta spread it out. We've got a lot of folks, but we're going to be listening. We'll be paying attention. We'll be collecting the thoughts, but go up and say, Judy said I needed to tell you something. So you guys can sit down, so find them, we'll be out. Okay, finally, 2 things before I kind of do the biggie, is that these types of events don't come together by themselves. There's a lot of hard work, and it's, as with most things at Cal Wellness, it's a team effort. But I just want to recognize 2 folks and then give them a big hug and a round of applause. Tina Esafar, can you stand? And Jamie, everybody knows Jamie. Jamie, can you stand up too? Great. And so finally, one of the big dark secrets in philanthropy, you see staff members, you see CEOs, but you don't see probably the group of people that are most important in making things like this happen, and that's the boards of directors. We believe, at least I believe, that if you are really excited and you feel that a foundation's mission is on point, it's being responsive, then you probably should take a look at who sits in the boardroom. Cal Wellness has always had an amazing board, has always had one of the most diverse boards reflecting the community we serve. These are folks that choose the CEOs. They determine what our operating budget is. They determine what our grant-making budget is so we can do these things. They make the decision, are we going to move our offices? Are we going to have mission-related investing guidelines? And we think that they're an important asset that needs to be elevated. I am so thrilled that 3 of our board members are going to be with us. So I would just like to ask Arnold Perkins to stand. This is Arnold's birthday week. He had a birthday on Monday. Sochi Castaneda, please stand. And I'm going to introduce in a moment to come up on the stage, but Deborah Nakatomi. And those questions that I pose, they would love to hear your thoughts too. But remember, don't hog them, just, share the wealth. We've got lots of folks. Now for, I don't know if we really are going to have dessert, but the real dessert is about to come. We're about to honor and recognize some incredible leaders in this state.